Sorry, it always takes me a minute to get off and get settled. How are you? It's
Oh,
nice to
good.
see you one-on-one.
Yeah, how are you?
Good, good, good. I always see you with all the NAEA stuff and the NYSADA stuff.
You do?
Yeah. I always look in the chat to see who's there, like from New York City and the DOE and stuff like that.
Right. I am too busy trying to focus on what's happening to look at, and so many people don't even show their faces anymore.
No, I know.
So
I know.
it's hard.
I felt bad for the presenters, so I'm like, let me show my face.
Yep. We're all adults. Come on, right?
I
You
like it.
expect
I
it
really enjoyed
from,
it.
we had 3 days of college and career fair at our high school this week
Oh, wow.
with constant, the schedule, each period had a different speaker and a different workshop for 3 days straight.
Oh,
And the kids still did not show their faces. So the only faces in the room was the speaker and the teachers.
oh, that's terrible.
Yeah, it was so disappointing.
You know
But
what? Our kids now are like, I'm not going to do it because my kids, I have middle and I do pre-K to 8. So the middle
mhm.
school, they're all playing video games. And then like 2 to 5, they're all on doing YouTube stuff and watching other videos and making stuff, which is fine. I'm like, okay, they're making stuff, not my
Right.
stuff, but they're making stuff. It's really weird. They're making all these paper things.
Wow. How do
Yeah.
they get any work done?
Well, it's funny because our quarter is ending, and one of the girls looked at me and I said, okay, let's do some catching up. And she goes, I just counted all my outstanding assignments and I had 83 pieces of outstanding work. And I said, just pick everything from March and April.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Like, I think the kids have hit a wall just as much as we have.
I have definitely hit a wall because this afternoon, I sent out 84 messages to parents whose kids were failing.
I think
84 out of 147.
in your high school?
Yeah,
Oh, that's
yeah. They're not even out of those 84, there are a good 30 who are completely MIA and off the grid. I haven't
yeah.
seen, haven't done anything, and the rest just don't care. And
No, I know. They're like pre-college already, which is terrible. They shouldn't be. They should really have the high school experience.
yeah, and I'm completely drained because I've been teaching 18 years
Oh, wow.
and I have simplified and broken things down to such a degree that it's not possible to do it anymore. The problem is they're not even showing up to see what I'm assigning. So it doesn't matter. I could put a coloring book page and that wouldn't get done either because nobody's checking in.
No,
They're
it's
like,
I
done.
feel like I'm just talking to like nobody. Like I'm like, okay, it's just my art lesson now. Here I go. I'm just gonna tell you what to do.
Exactly. It's so
All
frustrating.
right, let's do this. So I have oh, do you want me to share my screen and everything and to test me out?
If you want to test it out, sure. I have to make you co-host. So let
Okay.
me just change my name first because
Have you
I'm
used it
using
with me?
I'm using Nikata's Zoom link.
Oh,
So I always pop up as the director,
mhm.
the director's name. Okay, so let me make you co-host. There you go. You're good to go. So if you want to share.
Yeah, hopefully like I have this little do you use classroom screen? One of the kids turned me on to classroom screen.
I don't use any special apps or games.
Free.
It was hard enough for me to learn the software that I want them to use to create the art at the high school level. So all these other my brain can't take anymore. Like
No,
I'm on overload.
I just learned this like a month ago. And then I was like, you know what I mean? Like I was like, where was this in September and why wasn't the DOE here? Like, and then I have this, which is super easy. I know I see people in the waiting room. I'm just gonna hold on, move this over.
Did you see the Kandinsky abstract project we did? Was it last month or the month before? With the different line assignments?
Yes, but I had to leave early. I couldn't finish it. And I see it
Okay.
behind you. Don't you have it behind you, I think?
Yeah, this is actually my sample.
Yeah, it's awesome. So
Thank
yeah,
you.
I stayed for the thing and I was like, oh my God, it's so cool. But then I never got to like do it, unfortunately. Hold on.
It's on our website, on not our website, our YouTube channel.
No, I go on the YouTube channel. I look at the old stuff.
Oh, good, good, good.
This
Okay.
assignment is a little bit like the neurographica one.
I love that too.
Yeah.
It's so easy. Like that's all I feel like doing now. I don't want to put in any more effort because I'm so tired.
Oh, you're tired and the kids are burnt out. Yes, so this is just a little thing I have, and it's just kind of like some of the NEA presentations, just how are they feeling? And then, they can log on or not log on. It's up to them. You know what I mean? I'm not going to be
Right.
like, you have to log on. I don't want to, I can't go too far because I have to, let them come in. Like, it's just a little cute thing.
Are
Like,
you in the city also in New York?
yeah,
Oh, you are? Okay, cool. Yeah, we've stopped insisting on attendance, like, because that's not even gradable at this point. So all they have to do is log on whenever at any time of day. Everything is online in Google Classroom. Just do the work and post it. So attendance is not part of their grades.
it's ridiculous.
Yeah, it really is.
And that's why the DOE didn't do anything. You know what I mean? They left it all up to the schools and the teachers, and it's too much. It's too much.
It'll be interesting to see how things fall in the fall. What they
They're like, oh, everything's back to normal. It's not going to
it's
be back.
never going to be back to normal ever. I mean, I think that now that we see that remote is a possibility, that's going to be a real option for kids who now are going to be plagued with social anxiety and they don't want to leave the house. And that was already happening before. There was such a rise in kids who were absent all the time because of social anxiety, that I think now remote option is going to be a thing, which is going to make all our lives harder if we have to do blended in the classroom once we go back.
It sucks. I do the live streaming, so I'm in the classroom live streaming. It sucks. It sucks for art because parents don't want paint at home. They don't want supplies at home because they think it's quote unquote messy.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry, and not in a bad way. And I don't blame them. You know what I mean? Because they don't have time. They have to watch their kids, and sometimes if they're multiple kids, they're watching multiple kids. So I
Mm-hmm.
don't blame them for not wanting to get messy and just wanting to stick pencil and paper.
Right. But how, as a teacher, I can't even imagine how you do your job teaching the lesson and respond to the kids in the classroom and then remember to look at a screen and talk to the kids on the screen at the same time. I don't even understand how that's done.
It's awful.
It's
It's
like
awful.
you got to be juggling
You have
and
to ignore one set of kids for a certain portion of time. You have to. Like you have to ignore the classroom kids, or you
wow.
have to ignore like at some point because you have to stand up and leave the computer. You have to go around the room at some point. You have to.
Wow.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Mm.
All right, I'm going to start letting people in. So you're going to start with
I'll just introduce like who I am, just what we're doing, the project. I'm just gonna do an overview. We're not gonna get too much into it because I don't want to take up too much time with that. I'm just gonna show them how the kids did it and how they can do it with their kids. And I upgraded the lesson to be more adulty and more like middle school, high schooly.
Are you going to walk us through the
Oh,
project itself?
totally.
Cool.
Yeah,
Okay.
totally.
So
Yeah.
everybody gets to actually try it and do
Yeah.
it. All right.
Yeah.
So
It
let's
just
not
doesn't work without
start.
the abstract art part of it. You know what I mean? Like we could just dive into it, but it's better to have that foundation.
Okay. So let's stop sharing for now. Wait
Oh
till
yeah, sorry.
everybody comes in and then I'll share. Well, I'll give it over to you and then you can.
I'm gonna confess, I get a little nervous staring at a bunch of adults. So if I put my screensaver on, I'll still talk, but it just helps me like calm down. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Put this
Okay.
on. So like don't freak out if that suddenly goes on. I
Okay.
get really nervous.
We're a very friendly, supportive group. So
No, I know I'm always here. I love it, but I still get like looking into a sea of faces of adults. I don't know why. Kids are different. Like I can just be like, yeah, whatever, but adults way different. Okay. Thanks.
okay. No worries. I figured we'd wait until about 10 after. That's usually a good time. Hi, everybody. Happy Thursday. Happy art group. Happy almost end of the week. Happy end of the week back from spring break. Oh my God. I survived it. Almost. So we're going to give it another, let me see. Yeah, 10 minutes. Wait for everybody to come in.
I'm excited to do this lesson with older people, not just kids. This is great. This is going to be fun.
I love, it'll be interesting to see because we've been doing a lot of digital stuff the last few times, with the exception of the last abstract. So it'll be cool.
When is everyone's last day?
Not soon enough.
Amen.
Hey, end of June is our last day.
Yeah, end of June.
Oh
Where
my
are you?
goodness.
Where are
We're,
you?
I'm
June
in
15th.
Kansas City, and we're May 27th.
Oh my God, jealous. Very
Yeah, I'm
jealous.
around there.
Very, very jealous.
Not
think
close
we're the
enough to
20
be making a paper chain or anything, but I can see the light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah, I'm not there yet. Not there. Did everybody have a good spring break?
I'm still on break.
Oh, that's so nice.
Well, we're Catholic school, so we go the week after.
Okay.
Yeah, it's nice.
I've still got until Monday for my spring break. So
Oh, how nice. How nice.
And we'll be feeling you next week, being like, the first week back.
Yeah, Monday was rough. Monday was really tough. Even my attendance was low. I think the kids didn't want to come back either. And I was kind of right there with them. If I could have just, called out for the whole week, I think I probably would have.
Lord knows if
Yeah.
you're like me, you have plenty of days to use.
I don't actually. This entire COVID thing
Yeah.
actually, ironically, was a gift. It put me back in the black in terms of my days because I was over. So I got all my days back because I haven't taken a single sick day in a year.
Yeah.
That was really nice.
Yes.
So I don't want to use a single one since I'm already home. What's the point, right?
Exactly. So what materials do we need?
Oh, I'm sorry. I put them in the chat, but
I'm-
I don't mind saying them
okay.
again. We're going to
Well,
start with a pencil, but eventually you can branch out to anything. You can use markers, colored pencils. If you have those Inktense, the really nice stuff, I can also show you guys too. And then if you like to outline with your colors, you can use, I use like a Sharpie pen, right? Or you can use your other markers. So whatever you like. So if you like to color and then outline, definitely get an outlining marker. If you just kind of like to play with your paint stuff, you can definitely start with a pencil and then fill in with your paint stuff. What else? I'm actually going to use black paper because I have been wanting to use these construction paper crayons, which work really well on black paper. So if you have those that you borrowed from your school, you can definitely experiment with those. You don't necessarily have to have watercolor paper if you're using, some mild watercolors or some Inktense stuff. You can use some cardstock. So I have cardstock. I have some junky cardstock and some mixed media paper. So basically you can use anything. With my kids in class, we just use sketchbooks because right now we just have limited supplies and markers and colored pencils. So if you need to be limited and you want to be like, how can I get this to my remote kids? Pencils, colored pencils, and markers, if they even have that. You can even use Crayon. I didn't use Crayon with this, but you probably could.
I love those Inktense pencils. They are delicious.
I'm addicted to them now, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll show you. When I change my screen, I'll definitely show you guys what the Inktense stuff is. I bought some from NEA because I took a little workshop, and then I'm like, ooh, I have to get more of these.
I bought a whole set. I'll show the box.
Yeah, if you buy them from Michael's, they're like $35. And if you buy them from Amazon, they're like $19.
Here's the,
Ooh, very nice.
I can't wait to try. I've got a whole set of, somebody gifted me with the set of 72.
Whoa.
oh my gosh.
So, and I haven't tried them yet, but I am dying to try
They are
them.
so yummy. I mean, the
can use them for
color
this.
is super, super rich. You just color with them, and you can leave them as regular color, or you add like a water brush from that you fill with water
Yeah.
and just brush them, and it becomes watercolor, and it's the richest colors, more than any watercolor school set that I've ever seen. So
I've
They're-
been watching Eric Scott do a bunch of things with it. He's one of the journal fodder junkies.
I'm on his mailing list too. He's
Oh,
wonderful.
He's a friend of mine.
Really
Yeah, he teaches in Virginia.
great stuff. And he did a workshop for the convention that just
Yeah.
happened.
He
And I
actually,
think
actually did 2 or 3 of
and he
them.
was in I think he did the one in New York City a couple of years ago where he did this crazy cardboard workshop where we all constructed something. It was like a crazy playtime, and he kept calling switch, and we all had to switch groups, and it was really
He's great.
interesting. Yeah, it's fun.
I love to listen to him. He's got one of those voices that's just so calming, and I can sit and do art listening to him all day.
Yes, yes.
He's pretty great.
Oh, okay. Ellen left. All right. Well, we're a nice tiny group today, which is okay. If you would like to get started, everybody, you all know me, so I'm just going to introduce Kristin, and this is her first time presenting, and I'm very grateful that you volunteered, because I was struggling to fill some slots, and I wanted to keep the momentum going. So I'm going to hand it over to you, and thank you and welcome.
Hello. Hi, how are you guys? Okay, so we're gonna do something with a little bit of abstract art, and I'm gonna show you guys a little bit about quizzes. I don't know if you're familiar with quizzes. It's kind of like a Nearpod thing. I use both quizzes and Nearpod, and what had happened was, do you want me to let people in? I don't mind.
I'll take care of that. You can focus on the
Sure. Thank you so
discussion.
much.
Yep.
What happened was our school didn't have an account to Nearpod, and with art, I was taking up all this room, and I needed something else to like look at. And I found quizzes, and quizzes had a lot of art stuff on it, and it was super cheap. It was only $60 for the year, so I was like, I'm just gonna buy it. And I don't know if you guys found being in remote now, like sometimes you're not doing all art, sometimes you're pushing into ELA, you're pushing into math, and I have no idea what I'm doing. And none of the teachers have had time to like give us lesson plans and get involved. So it also has like little ELA and math stuff on there. So it just made it really easy to kind of do everything on there remotely. Okay, so you're more than welcome to join the quizzes. You do not have to join the quiz. Don't worry about that. But if it's just not going to take very long, hold on, I'm going to share my screen. And I will put the information in the chat. And we'll get started. Hopefully you guys can click it.
I don't think we can click it, but
Oh, hold
you know what? Can you put the link in the chat for us?
Yes, there you go. Hold on one second. That should work. Wait, hold on. Sorry. Oops. I did not mean to click it. Can you guys, are you able to, sorry about that. Of course, now it doesn't want to work.
Okay, so if we type it into a new,
Yeah, sorry about that. Usually it gives me a link. I don't know why it's not. I know, hold on. And then when I click on it, it's not going to work. Sorry about that.
I think you have to click on where it says share.
Oh, where does it say? Oh, you're the best. Thank you.
And you can click on it and copy it.
Sorry. As you can tell, it's been a week. There you go.
yay. I love when we help each other.
Thank you. I know when you're looking at like 10,000 buttons. All right. Yeah. So please, you're more than welcome to log in. This is just a funny little thing we could do, be a little interactive. All right. So I'm sorry. I'm going to have to move everything. Okay. Okay. Okay, perfect. I'm going to get started, but you guys can still keep on joining. Hold on. Let me do a quick count. Oop. We have how many participants? 15. Excellent.
these quizzes difficult to create or?
They are not. And a lot of times some of the teachers already have stuff in there and you just copy it. So
Uh-huh.
if there's little things you want to tweak, you can kind of tweak what they put if you need to put your own wording in.
Okay.
Okay, so today we're going to do a abstract art kind of, I'm struggling with the title. It's always a little bit different. So it's an abstract data portrait with Kandinsky, and we're going to talk a little bit about data and abstract art. Don't worry if you don't know anything about abstract art. Oops, oops, oops. Too fast. All right, so how are you feeling tonight? Take a moment. We only have 60 seconds, but take a moment. So this is quizzes, like I said, and I do pre-K to 8. So this kind of works for my K to 4 or 5 grades, and then I kind of switch over to Nearpod for my 6 to 8. All right, so I'm going to let that, excellent. All right, so thank you. We have some people who are happy to be here, some people who are quiet creators, and some people whose batteries are running low, but you're gonna create anyway. Thank you for answering that quiz for me. Excellent. And then how comfortable are you in your knowledge or even teaching about abstract art? Pro, so, not at all. What the heck is it? Thank you. That one was really quick. Sorry about that. So yeah, that's just a little overview of like how quizzes works. A little bit about myself. Oh, sorry. Now my screen is, I teach, hold on, I teach pre-K through 8 in East Harlem in New York City. We have about 220 kids. That's about pandemic numbers, and we're a Title I school. I do live in-class teaching and streaming. So I have kids like you guys who are in class and also kids who are Zooming at the same time. And I've been in the DOE about 10 years, and I'm from Chicago, and I graduated from SVA. Art teaching is the best job ever. And this mural is outside of my school, and it's courtesy of Andre Trenier. He is on Instagram if you like his mural stuff. He did redid the mural outside of our school. So that's the plug for my school. Okay. This lesson was not my original lesson, but I did contact the creator. It is by Wahoo for Art, and she's also on Instagram. So if you do use her lesson and post it on your Instagram, please thank Wahoo for Art. It is her original lesson. Again, I'm on Instagram. If you would like to join me on Instagram, I will come back to the slide later. Okay, so what are we doing? We're going to do this project in 2 parts. We're going to investigate the art of Kandinsky. We're going to talk about abstract art and learn about data. And then we're going to apply these concepts into creating our own abstract art data self-portrait. How would you best describe abstract art? You guys are competitive. Done in less than 60 seconds. That was like 10 seconds. Awesome. I might move on in just a second. I'm going to move on. It's okay, just so we can get started. Yes, we want to proceed. Thank you. All right. Okay, so when I introduced this lesson, sorry. Oh, who's the leaderboard? Oh, look at you, Steph. All right. Very good, guys. Okay, so what is data? When I present this lesson to my kids, nobody knows how. I have a hard time explaining, hey, this is abstract art. Abstract art is real art that isn't really realistic looking, but it represents something. And kids are always like, huh? So what I do is I kind of break it down and I talk to them about data. I say that Kandinsky is an artist, right? Just like you and I, when we assemble any of our writing or we make a picture, we look at something and we assemble data. So if we wanted to make a picture of something outside, if we wanted to make a picture of ourselves, we're looking at information about ourselves, which is the equivalent of data. And that kind of helps them break it down a little bit better. And I do explain to them what abstract art is. And we talk about how data is information that you collect about something. And today, this is what we're going to do. So we take a look at some of Kandinsky's work. And we do a quick little, seriously, because it's remote art and it's trying to keep the kids' attention, I do a literally 3 blurb bio. I talk about how he was born in Moscow. Over time, he was a painter. He was influential to the Bauhaus art movement in Germany. Oops, sorry guys. And how he taught at the Bauhaus, and once the Nazis came, they burned many of his pieces, and he had to become exiled in Paris. So literally, I do the quickest blurb on Kandinsky ever. Don't take this blurb on him because it's like 2 seconds. That's all they want, 2 seconds. Okay, then we kind of start backwards. We look at his softer composition, and we just have the kids kind of brainstorm about his work, kind of see what they see, everything like that. And then we move on to this picture, because this is the picture that really is the hook. So what I do is I put this picture up and I say, can you guys see, find me the mountains, right? Take a moment and look in the picture and see if you guys can find where the mountains are, right? Give me a thumbs up if you can find the mountains, right? Can you find the clouds? Give me a thumbs up if you can see the clouds in the picture, right? How about the rainbow? Can you guys see a rainbow in here, right? And the sun. So we just kind of talk about how he used this picture, how Kandinsky was probably out wherever he was living. He looked outside, he saw a landscape, and instead of painting the landscape, he painted it as data, as information, right? He used geometric lines and shapes, and he just painted it as data. So literally after that, usually they're like, oh, wow, holy cow, data, wow, that's so abstract art, woo. So usually it's a much better hook than just being like abstract art is non-representational. It's a much easier way for them to get it. Okay, so now we can start creating. So what we're going to do is, thank you for tolerating quizzes. This is the end, so thank you for watching. Like I said, for materials, you just need paper, nothing smaller than 8.5 by 11. Go ahead and get 8.5 by 11 paper. No smaller than that. You can get bigger if you like to do by 11 by 17, but I wouldn't recommend much bigger than that. Any coloring or little painting supplies, we're going to show off maybe some of these Inktense stuff, which are amazing. We all want to start off in pencil, unless you're more comfortable starting off with marker. And of course, I lost my pencil. Give me 1 second. And then what I do is I'm going to stop sharing for just a second. Okay, so then the last thing is, do you guys need to scavenge for supplies or anything like that? Does everybody okay with supplies? Okay. So then what I do is, this is where I got the whole kind of concept for the project from Wahoo from Art. And I'm going to share it in the chat. I'm going to share 2 versions, sorry. So basically we work from a set of prompts. Hold on. Sorry, I have the folder set up. Okay, so the first, and I will show you my printed version in 1 second. So the first, okay, there's one in here that says adults. That's the one that we're going to use for this project, because the other one is for kids, which I will also share in here. And I just took the kids' data and I tweaked it. There it is. Okay, so the one that says Kandinsky Data Nikata, that's the one for kids. Don't open that until later. And I'll share with you guys my PowerPoint too that I do with the kids as well, which this is in there as well. And then also, this is what we're going to use as our prompts. And I'm going to share my screen. And if you were here in the summer when we did the Neurographica assignment, the one thing that the kids get a little bit all like, oh my God, what are we doing? This is a little bit of an open-ended assignment. So when we say draw a circle, if you're the oldest, middle, or youngest child, they're going to be like, how big do you want me to draw my circle? And I say, look, this is you. how do you want to draw your circle? If you're the youngest child, but you have the most attitude, maybe you're going to draw yourself as the biggest circle. If you're the middle child, but you feel like you are like non-existent in your family, maybe you're going to draw yourself as the small circle on your paper. So this is, I clicked on the wrong one. So this is the child version, right? So these are the prompts for the kids, right? And we kind of just go through them together. I lead them through them and then we just draw them together. So I'll lead you through them as we draw. And I will also, if you guys want to click on the adults one, I'll click on that really quickly, which I thought this was, hold on. And I'll show you where I changed it just a little, sorry. That is the adults one. I'm sorry about that. So So there's one on here, which I'm going to tell you right now, you can fudge this one totally. Draw a semicircle for every decade you've been alive. I will not judge you if you lie. I'm just letting you know that. Okay. So some of the original prompts were draw straight lines if you like reading and music. Draw zigzag lines if you like math and art. Draw wavy curvy lines if you like social studies or any other subject.
Then click Add Extension to continue.
So what I did was I just kind of tweaked it for us, so it's a little bit more adulty for us. Okay, so I'm gonna stop sharing if you don't mind. Oh, was I sharing on that? Did you guys get that? Okay, so I'm gonna switch my screen.
So it looks exactly the same for both? Is just the language different, or?
Is it both the same? I may have mislabeled it. Hold on, it should look like this. Hold on, I might need more light. The zigzag one should say draw zigzag lines if you like art or traveling.
Yes.
Perfect. All right.
That's the adult one. Okay.
That's the adult one, which is what we'll use. So if you were able to click on your adult one, because my thing is for some reason very blurry, I'll walk you. If you need a visual, this is the visual, but I'm going to walk you through these step by step. Sorry. Okay. And like I said, you can use anything, but we're going to start with paper first. And I'm sorry that I don't know why I'm orange all of a sudden. Sorry about that. I'm going to start with paper. Hold on. Oof. Oh my God, I'm so sorry about my camera. I realized I think I dropped it right before I showed up here. And now I'm thinking, oh, that was not a good thing. Oh my God, this is terrible. I'm so sorry. Hold on.
It's atmosphere. It's okay.
Oof. Yes, right? Okay. Okay, so the first prompt is anywhere on your paper. I'm going to start with white colored pencil since I'm using black. Is draw a circle if you are the oldest, middle, or youngest child. So take a moment to think anywhere on your paper, and you can do it horizontal or vertical. I'm going to do it horizontal just because it's easier to watch. So think about where you are in your family structure and draw a circle if you're the oldest, middle, or youngest child. Does not have to be perfect. So after we draw it all in pencil, then if you want, you can go back in with your paints and your markers and your colored pencils. And again, I'm really sorry that this is so blurry. Okay. Step 2, draw a triangle for every job you've had. This we might need, like, it's okay. If you want to pick like 3 major jobs that you love and that you want to be like connected with that have personal meaning to you, you could definitely do that as well. And they could be any type of triangles. They could be wonky triangles. They can be big triangles, little triangles.
Can they overlap each other?
They can if you want. If you feel that that's important to you, you can overlap them. That's a good question. I'm going to draw that overlap. Hold on, let me unplug this for 1 second. Sorry. Well, that works. As the kids always say, just unplug it and come back into Zoom or whatever. Okay, there we go.
I wish that would work for us. That we unplug ourselves and then feel better.
Let me know if you can't hear me or the music is too loud in my background.
We got you.
You guys ready for the next prompt?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so we're gonna draw one diamond for every pet you have. And if you don't have a pet and you would like a pet, you can draw one diamond. That's what I usually tell my kids because they're like, I really want a pet, but I don't have a pet.
Currently or have ever had?
You can pick that. I'm gonna let that you be the judge of that since we're all adults in this session, right? My diamonds are terrible.
So I have a question.
Yeah.
Do you create this data chart with the kids or do
No.
you?
I just kind of, this is like a couple weeks into September project. So I've kind of talked to them, gotten a feel for what they've done. The questions that Wahoo of Art had, I took some of her questions and then I changed some of them to be more relevant to the kids at my school. Like one of them is draw a pound or a hashtag if you ate breakfast this morning. Draw a spiral line if you brush your teeth today. Just some of them are really silly
Okay.
that the kids can have fun with. And I do make them draw a semicircle for every one of their birthdays. So if they're 8, I make them draw, 8, or if they're 12, I have them do 12 just to kind of fill up the space.
Right.
And they're usually like, where do I put everything? But I say, just kind of plan it out and make it look pretty like Kandinsky did. He kind of put his abstract art everywhere, and that's just what you're doing. Okay, so the next
Do you put,
Yeah.
I'm sorry to keep
No, it's
interrupting
okay.
you.
No, these are great questions.
When you display the work at the end, do you post the legend with the work?
I do not. I just display it as an abstract art self-portrait.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And I just kind of do the task that we discussed it. I'll put the task thing, this is
Mhm.
what we did. We looked at Kandinsky.
Okay.
Depth of knowledge, buzzwords. Okay, you guys ready for the next one?
Yep.
Draw one square for each person in your household, and it could be kids and or adults. Excuse me. Okay. So now this is the fudgy question. You can draw a semicircle for every decade you've been alive. You can count yourself if you want for the adult question. I can pretty much keep it open-ended. Like I said, if you just want to draw like 4 or 2 or 3, it's okay.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
And some of these shapes that I took, like the semicircle, are like blueprint and like state standard vocab for art. So I just threw that in there as well. I'm going to do 5 semicircles. Here we go. Ready for the next one? All right, let's draw one long rectangle for every place you've lived. If it can be an apartment, a house, or a state. You don't have, if it's been a million places, don't worry, pick like whatever you're comfortable with putting on your paper to make it just a pleasing composition, right?
I was going to say, I'm going to need another piece of paper. for
I
that.
know it could be like an all rectangular thing for me in a way. With the kids, it's easy because sometimes they've only lived maybe 2 or 3 places, and maybe you'll get some kids who have lived out of state and they're excited to kind of put that information on there. Oh, also too, some of the shapes I discovered just being at my school, I've been here like 4 years. Some of these shapes are my kids have a hard time doing. So I put them on here like the semicircle and the rectangle. I discovered that we had just a hard time doing. So I also made those some of the question prompts. So that's another way that I got data on the kids to put in this assignment. Okay, so draw straight lines. I had some trouble with some of these questions, and you'll be able to see that in a second. So draw straight lines if you like seeing live music or concerts. I know that's very basic.
Draw straight lines. So as many as you want.
Yeah, you can draw as many as you want. And draw zigzag lines if you like art and traveling, or one or the other or both. Like this question for the kids is if, draw a zigzag line if you like math. And sometimes the kids are like, I don't like math a lot, but I like it a little. And I said, draw a little itsy bitsy zigzag line then. So, you can still do little itsy bitsy ones if you want. And then draw wavy, curvy lines if you're in desperate need for a change of scenery. Draw a wavy, curvy line if you're in a desperate need for a change of scenery.
At the size of my whole paper.
I know, I was just thinking, I was like, I might have to put it across the whole paper. And then the last prompt is draw a broken or a dotted line if you like being outdoors, if you like nature, anything naturey. If you like to take a hike, if you like to just stare out the window even, we can count that as nature. Okay, and that is the last prompt. So now basically you could take whatever coloring supplies you have and you could start to color. And I know as I was doing this on the black and the white, I was like, now I'm gonna have to like go over these because everything's white on the black, but I'm okay with that. So do you guys want to spend like maybe 20, 25 minutes? What do you guys recommend?
Tracing?
No, coloring in. Now you can color in paint. And if you want, you can show us off your paints if you would like. If anyone wants. No.
However much time anybody wants them. We have until 8:30. So, I mean, this has been really kind of really interesting and
Hopefully relaxing at least.
yeah, something to think about. I think my kids who really have a fear of making art at all, this would be so easy for them.
Yes, this is definitely, yeah, it's a win-win.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
so much structural support.
It's so much what?
Structural support,
Yeah.
because they don't have to really worry.
Well, they're not a fear of failure.
Yeah.
There's no right, there's no wrong. It's just whatever. And God, it takes all the pressure off of them.
And I think it'll be great for online classes.
Yep.
For sure. Now I have to figure out how I can squeeze this into my curriculum.
And then I didn't also do this, but if this is something you like that you wanted to explore on your own too, you could also paint your background and then lay your shapes on top. This, when it's not remote season for school, this could be a more in-depth project with multiple steps and multiple layers, not just, okay, we're online, I got to keep you engaged, here we are. But the kids really loved it. In my school, I could show samples. I think it was on the flyer. The samples were on the flyer. But what kept happening at my school is we kept starting and then we would go remote. So I didn't get any real samples for this project. Because then by the time we went back, it was like a month later. And I was like, we just got to move on. We just can't be stuck on this project forever.
They couldn't continue it from home?
I'm having a very hard time with kids doing that and being successful and turning in the work.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So you're completely losing momentum.
Yes.
Wow.
Does anyone have any questions, any thoughts? Please interrupt and interject. I know this was really simple, but it can definitely be adapted for so many. I think it can be adapted for younger and older kids. You just gotta know
Sometimes
your audience.
simple is the best. You know, when you don't have to make it so complicated, that's sometimes what we need, and that's sometimes what the kids need.
It'd be interesting also to have
Know
like
you.
class come up with questions for another class.
Yes,
Without, you know,
I would love to see what you guys come up with other classes.
Yeah,
Be
I'm excited.
interesting to create the legend with the class.
Right.
Oh, that's a
You
great
know,
idea.
yeah, to use maybe geometrics or symbols and have the classes create their own legend, and then from that create their artwork.
That's really cute.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like they could create their own legend, or they could create a legend for a different class, almost like an exchange student kind
And
of.
swap it out. That's cool.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just saying in the chat, you can definitely do the semicircle open-ended if you want. This is just, I just use this shape with my kids because this is a hard shape that I've discovered over the years. It's just a hard shape for everybody to do or remember the name of. So I just kind of want to make sure everybody knows. Hey,
I'm excited to do this with, I do it with a group of, it's 2 autistic children that I work with once a week, and I do a lot of little therapy work with them. And this, I'm excited to see what they do
oh,
with
cool.
this. So
that
I'll be
sounds
doing
fun.
it next week with them. Mhm.
Yeah, and it's a nice way to introduce Kandinsky into it, and then and just the pressure is off about teaching about abstract art because you can just say, hey, it's data, it's data. Just looking different. I'm just gonna mute myself so you guys don't hear me coloring. It's probably really loud, I just realized. But please take yourself off mute. I can turn on some music.
Did anybody travel over spring break?
I would love to hear if people traveled because, like I said, I am in desperate need of a change of scenery. So if anyone went anywhere fun, please.
I'm
I
curious.
just got
how
back from Colorado. It was beautiful.
How was the traveling itself? Was it like COVID frantic or COVID friendly, or like?
No, well, we drove. It's about a 10-hour drive, and we go every year. So last year, Colorado had been just shutting down, and then, well, the whole world was.
Yes.
This year, everything was still open, but everything needed reservations and everything had QR codes, and it was just really frustrating, and we couldn't get in to do a lot of things that we wanted to do because of all the limited capacity. But
Oh, no.
we rented a house that had a hot tub on the deck with 180-degree views of mountains. So just being there with a different scenery was enough.
Wow. And breathable air.
Yeah, it was beautiful. And it snowed and it was nice. Nice to get away.
That does sound nice. Thank you for sharing.
I think everybody's anxious to go somewhere. just afraid of dealing with all the, minutia of travel right now.
I didn't travel far, just to my parents' home on Long Island, but it was the first time my family was together in 18 months. So that was nice.
Wow, that's a
nice.
long time.
Yeah. My parents are both vaccinated. I'm vaccinated. One of my brothers was half vaccinated. My other two brothers were just recovering. So everyone was kind of in the safe period. So it was really nice.
That's
Gotta
what
make
It
sure,
is nice.
gotta make sure the parents are vaccinated.
Yeah.
That's, yeah,
Especially when they're at that age.
yeah. And I did a Seder at my house for Passover, and my mom finally came back to my house. So it was nice to have her here again.
So for a Seder, do you guys know what people have heard of a turducken?
Yes.
It's like a turkey, duck, and whatever. So
Yeah.
for Seder, because I was so excited that I was seeing my family for the first time, I ordered something called a pie caken. So it's like
Ooh, how was that?
cake combination. So it was crazy. It was this thing with like a macaroon bottom, and then a flourless chocolate cake, and then a raspberry mousse top. It was the most insane thing, but it was awesome. And it was so kind of festive and perfect.
Oh, that sounds delicious. I'm still going through leftovers, believe it or not.
I'll also put in the chat the link to my PowerPoint, not the quizzes one. I have a PowerPoint link to this also, and it has this. It doesn't have this legend in it. It has the kids one, but it has all the steps and stuff too if anybody wants it. And
Yeah, thanks.
no problem.
We love resources.
Thank you for this. It'll be kind of nice to have something as we get closer to EOG time.
What's EOD?
End of the
And
year.
end of grade testing.
Ah,
It's our state testing, and it's actually coming up in about 4 weeks. So this will be handy to have for the littles.
for sure, for sure. Or for anybody. I really want to
Yeah.
use this. I just have to now figure out how to work it in.
This would actually be kind of cool to do during a staff meeting.
Yes. Do a
Well,
PD.
especially because when you have those teachers in the school who are like art phobic, and then sometimes
Great
they
idea.
the kids.
Yeah. Yep.
You could do something with music, like because Kandinsky, his art is like music. If you did like sing a certain, like instead of doing a wavy line, sing a wavy sound,
Yeah.
you know, or do a little dance.
Do a little dance, make a little love, get down
I'll
tonight.
do- Just a thought.
When I first started teaching, I was asked to run a PD for my faculty, and I ended up doing one on synesthesia. So for half of the time, I played music. I actually talked about Fantasia and how, the beginning of that whole movie was inspired by applying picture to sound. And so I played different music, one kind of music for the beginning, and had them draw whatever came into their minds. And then I changed the music type and had them draw something else. So you had a compare and contrast of the two different visuals based on the inspiration from the two different kinds of music. And
Oh, that's cool. I love that.
yeah, it's kind of a really cool experimentation.
If you wanted to add to that, what you can do is you can have them, when they draw, have them use 2 markers with one hand and then 2 markers with the other hand. So they have to do it one to the music with 2 markers, right? So they hold 2 of them together, and then they hold the 2 of them and they have to do it with the other hand, and then they put them together too. And the difference between your right hand and your left hand is really interesting.
Ah, yes.
I actually forgot 2 steps on here. 3 steps on here. Oh my God, I'm so sorry.
Oh, no.
If you have room, draw a spiral line, or if you semi-successfully practice some form of self-care either today, this week, or semi-recently. So you can have like, oh my, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to forget that. I thought we did all of them. Where's my white colored pencil? Right, so you can put a little spiral line anywhere. And then draw a pound sign or a hashtag if you are a vegan or a vegetarian. And then I forgot the last one. I'm so sorry, guys. Bullseye, draw a bullseye is your choice. So if you wanted to put a bullseye on your paper, you can make that anything you wanted.
So I'm doing mine in watercolor, and I could totally see doing like a glazing project where you let one dry and then do the next layer of color. You could do the shapes all warm colors in the background and the lines all cool colors. There's so many things you could do.
Oh, I love that. I do a warm and cool color project too. That's a great idea.
There are so many things we could tailor this to. This is a great idea.
I can't wait to see everybody's.
I'm still outlining in my Sharpie.
Take your time. Let me know. If you want, I'm sorry that I forgot those last 3 very important steps.
It's okay. I already read them.
Hee hee hee.
I mean, you could, like somebody said earlier, you could talk about doing the background first and doing the shapes on top, so there would be layers.
Yeah, I really like that.
You could do it as cut paper too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, totally.
So you could do like a Kandinsky Matisse kind of mashup.
This would be great collage.
Mm-hmm.
Like cellophane or tissue paper to do that. You could see through it, like with watercolor.
I couldn't really hear that. Could you say that again?
I just said you could use tissue paper or cellophane when you
Oh, yeah.
dry, and you can see through it.
On an unrelated note, has anyone else started watching this new series on Netflix? It's a limited series called It's a Robbery, the World's Biggest Art Heist, about the robbery at the Isabel Stewart Gardner Museum in Boston.
Oh
No.
no, I heard about that robbery though. Is it any good?
Yeah, I'm kind of in the middle of the 2nd episode, but it's pretty interesting.
Netflix?
It's a little sensationalized in parts, but it's pretty interesting.
You said Netflix?
Yeah.
It's a
And
true
especially because
story.
it's kind of like all these things that now we have the technology for, but they kind of didn't pursue in the investigation because it was more rudimentary then.
Hmm.
I'm hoping I'll find out what happens, but it's pretty interesting.
Yeah, wasn't there something weird about that art heist? Like something was weird about it, right? I can't remember what off the top of my head, but I remember reading about it.
Yeah, and that's what like the series is looking at. Like they say like, does it have to have some kind of inside connection or not? Or, there's debate about why they didn't pursue certain parts of the investigation.
Ladies, I have to go. Thank you so much. It was wonderful.
Thank you.
Oh, thanks for joining us. I don't know if you got the message about next week's where we have the creator of a new app that he's working on, how to create a virtual gallery of all your students' work for the year. That's through the union. So that also is posted and was emailed to everyone as well. So that's next week.
Yeah, I got it. Thank
All
you.
right. Thanks for joining us.
Good night.
Night. All right, I finished inking. Outlining.
I think I'm gonna have to let mine dry before I do that. How to kill a Sharpie in 3 seconds.
Thank you for the excuse to crack my Derwents open.
Oh, no problem. If you want to show off, I would love to see your progress too.
Well,
Feel
all it
free.
is a Sharpie outline.
Oh, hold on.
There we go.
Oh, that looks really nice.
Thanks.
It's great.
So now I'm just gonna have fun coloring. I think this is a great example of self-care for us.
Definitely.
I didn't mean to keep you pinned. I know sometimes people are like, why have you pinned me? Why am I still pinned? Sorry about that. I see Steph behind you also. You did the conceptual art game, the graph, the circle graph from NEA. Were you on that little thing with the circle paper where they had the prompts where they were like draw 1/4 of a section yellow?
No.
Oh, that looks like
Which one are you?
The round one,
the round one.
partially hidden behind it. Yeah.
Yep,
right
partially
there.
hidden.
Actually, this is a color wheel embroidery sampler.
Oh wow, that's so cute.
Yeah, I had designed it a couple of years ago for an art group that I hold here in my house, and I teach embroidery. So I did it. I designed a color wheel template, and everybody got one and learned different stitches and used the different colors.
That is adorable.
Thanks.
So sorry I have to leave, but this was fantastic. Thank you so much.
Thanks for joining us. See you next time. Hopefully. I'm looking forward to next week's because we're all, I don't know how many of you guys are expected to do, end of year art exhibits with all the kids work. So this should be something really valuable in terms of satisfying our admin.
Yeah, I've been loading up photos, like trying to get ahead of it so it doesn't get me all at the end because I'd seen a earlier presentation of it. And it looks really cool. And I was able to show it to my principal when we were having our mid-year meeting. I was like, oh, this is what I'm going to do. And she's like, oh, that's so great. I was like,
I wish I had more art to show. The kids just aren't producing.
I have a lot of art from the same kids.
Yeah, exactly.
The same 20 kids are going to be all over the place.
Well, at least we have those. We have a really cool one coming up at the end of the month, cardboard animal heads.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah. So that looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. And then Matt Young is coming back again to do vector drawing portrait drawings with vector. He's been a real gem in terms of his experience and all different things. And he does a million things at his school. I wish was talking about, he had done a workshop in the conference, the NYSADA conference, for jewelry making. And I'm like, that's really great. How do you have like flames in your classroom? You know, that's, I had to guarantee my, precautions and everything, but to use an X-Acto blade with my kids, but flameage, I'm like, wow, that's pretty ballsy.
Very brave.
Yeah, yeah.
My admin won't let me use sewing needles.
Seriously?
Seriously, yes.
Even the blunt ones?
Yep. Well, I can use plastic ones, but those are the only needles I can use in my classroom.
Oh my goodness. And what grade do you teach?
I have kindergarten through 8th grade.
And they won't let you use the needles. That's...
And heaven forbid I have a X-Acto knife in the room.
Oh boy. It's crazy the precautions we have to consider and all these things we have to think about. Can't just sit down and make art. We have to worry about who's going to stab each other with pins and needles. And
I had a kid stab someone in the head with a pencil. So anything can be a weapon. I'm like, I can't get rid of pencils. It's the art room.
Wow.
Yeah, it was scary.
I guess if they want to do it, they're going to find a way. It doesn't matter. Huh.
Someone's saying in the chat, Georgianne is saying in the chat, with high school, you can use a small butane torch from Home Depot rather than a regular jewelry torch, which is very interesting.
Is it like creme brulee type torch?
I would have to figure out how to use them myself. Jewelry would be fun. I just, maybe more as an art club thing rather than a whole class thing. Or start slow anyway. I've never done that before, but. Oops. Try hammering metals first. No torch. Could be. Remember when 100 years ago when we were in like day camp and they used to do jewelry enameling?
Yes.
And they had those little ovens, you'd cook your jewelry after you put the powder and that was cool. I don't know if that's done anymore, the enameling. But all of these things are really expensive too. Yes, Matt Young from Ohio, Georgianne, he's super amazing in terms of resources and ideas. Yes, he's great. This will be his 3rd workshop that he's doing for us, which is fantastic.
NAEA had a thing where they're like, just have your kids download, do a PowerPoint on the G Suite and have them do their own portfolios. And I was like, oh my God, yes, then it'll take me no work. And of course, nobody's putting their artwork in them.
Right. Well, I just assigned I'm doing a digital photography unit for 2 weeks. And I gave them it's like 1 million choices of different projects they can do. They have to do 10 out of 15. And the only way I'm grading their work is if they present it and create their own photo album, like slideshow. So that each assignment is on its own slide with the title of the assignment and a little annotation next to it. So we'll see if they even bother doing that. Rather than just attaching photos and sending them to me with no labels as to what assignment they're from and,
Or just a random photo of themselves.
Oh, they won't even do that. Forget sending selfies. That's another reason. On the cover of their Google Slide photo album, they have to put a selfie. So we'll see if they do that. I don't know what my kids look like. They all look the same. They all look like a black box with their name across the middle. That's all I see. So by the end of this, it's going to be funny. I'll go into school next year and they'll all be like, oh, Miss Abby, remember me? I'm like, no. I have no idea who you are because I I didn't see any faces for a whole school year.
And thank you very much for that.
Yeah, right.
I was leaning over my son's, he's in school this week, and I was leaning over his shoulder today, and his teacher was like, okay, so somebody just unmute and tell me that you can hear me. And I'm like, you unmute right now and you tell that teacher you can hear her. And he goes, somebody else will do it, Mom. Somebody else will do it.
Yeah, that's what they all think. Someone else will do it. And then I'm like, and then I sit there and I'm like, great, I love talking to the wall. Thanks, you guys. And then everybody chirps in all at once to make me feel better.
Yep.
I even tried bribing them with extra credit if they would sit with their camera on for the whole period.
Ooh.
Nobody.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, mine have their cameras on, but it's aiming at the ceiling.
Oh, that's helpful. Like,
Yeah,
thanks
I
for
love their
showing me what
ceiling.
your ceiling looks like. It doesn't.
I describe everybody's room. I'm like, oh, I really like the lights hanging off of, Jesslyn's wall, and oh, it's too funny.
Yep, the poster is really nice, and your ceiling fixture is lovely, and the crack in the ceiling is really pretty. Thank you very much.
Well, Mrs. Eichler, I'm eating, and I didn't want anybody to see me eating. And I'm like, well, because you're not supposed to be eating during class time. Oh, but I was really hungry because I didn't wake up till it's really late, and then I didn't shower, so
Yeah.
Today I wake up at 9 and my class is at 9:05. I wake up at 9 and I log in, but I don't feel like doing clay at 9 in the morning. I said, well, you signed up for this class. What am I supposed to do?
right.
It's like, I don't want to teach that early in the morning either, but I'm expected to be here, and so are you. Even when I don't want to, even when I'm having a bad hair day, even it just doesn't matter.
Steph, what's the project behind you with the bright fuchsia and the yellow? It looks abstract as well.
This one?
Yep.
This is the one that we did last month that my the union director, he taught this lesson. This is the 3 different going from geometric lines to organic lines from one side of the paper to the other. And then I went and told the kids to add, little details and faces. And I insisted that they do some blending and shading. So this was the project that I did with my kids from
great.
Thank you.
I didn't see that episode, but
it's in the on the Nikata YouTube channel. This is actually Prismacolor pencil. I love.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And I also made it a rule for the project that the kids had to press down hard on their pencil to get the true pigment.
Nice.
Can you show that again?
Can I what?
Can you show that again?
Sure.
It's just so vibrant and beautiful.
Yep.
It reminds me of this project.
When the kids followed the directions and pressed down hard, their colors were so gorgeous. And so many of them are just like, they barely put any pressure on the pencil. So it looks all wishy-washy and washed out. And I showed them the difference. And when they understood, some of their work was really, really beautiful.
All right, I'm embarrassed to ask, but where do you find that?
Where do you find what?
That project?
Oh, it's on the Nikata YouTube channel.
Oh, okay.
And I think it was called, what was it called? Abstract line exercise, or I don't remember. Let me check.
Would you mind posting that in the chat?
Sure.
Thanks.
Let me see.
I've only been to a few of these, so I'm sorry.
It's okay. You could subscribe. Every time I do one of these, I post the video on our channel. So they're all here. All right. So welcome everybody to ours. That's not what I wanted to do. Let's see. Hold on.
Next week, the Smithsonian, it's the Renwick Gallery is doing a duct tape craft session on Tuesday, I think it is, or Wednesday. I was
Interesting.
like, you know what? I don't do crafts, but that sounds like fun.
Duct tape. I've been seeing projects with duct tape for years, and I'm not afraid, but just
I don't
worried
know.
about what my kids would do with duct tape.
I don't deal well with tape. It's a thing. It's a real thing, like Scotch tape, duct tape, packing tape. It all ends up in a ball for me.
Yeah, yeah, or
even
stuck together.
No, completely. Does
Okay,
not get out of the tube.
Why can't I find?
I can find it. Do you want me to find it? I don't mind.
I'm in my playlist. Has there? Oh, abstract. Here it is. Abstract explorations.
Especially with high
That's the
school
one.
kids.
Okay, let me share it. I'll put the link in the chat.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Georgianne, I grew up in Avon, Connecticut.
Okay, there you go.
Perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Especially with high school kids.
Yeah, I'll definitely check that out.
That was really fun.
That was really fun. And that's Mario. He's the in charge of the art teachers union. And so last year I had called him up and said, look, I found this really great group in Virginia, and they invited me to be part of their Friday night art drawing group. And why doesn't New York City have that? He's like, well, why don't you do it?
That's where I met you the
That's
first
how
time.
they started. That's so funny.
And I'm like, well, geez, okay. And so here we are. It has been really helpful to have this to look forward to and to learn stuff, especially through the pandemic when we need to figure out stuff to do in different ways, and having a community where we're all in the same boat, trying to just make it through together. It's been really wonderful.
One day at a time.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've used so many of these, like I did the neurographic and the Zentangle and the digital stuff that I didn't know how to do.
Yep. I'm actually going to be doing the Zentangling with my art club kids starting next week.
Two of my kids' neurographic drawings are going to be in the Manhattan Borough Festival. They were picked.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And that wasn't something I had ever done before, so that was super cool.
Yeah, the kids love the neurographic.
I'd love to do that too. I'm just worried about doing too many abstract, everything is abstract. And I mean, I know I want to do other stuff with them, but these are all such good ideas.
Annie, do you want to show off your work if you did it before you leave? If you didn't, don't worry about it. It's okay. I'm no judgments, but I'd love to see it if you did it. Hold on.
Well, it's the first time that I use these. I've always wanted to try these, watercolor pencils, and they didn't do. I'm like, oh, I just made some lines, and then I'm here at my mom's, and I forgot my watercolor brushes so that I could paint it. But it's just it was a fun, relaxing time to
That's
create.
Cute. I love it.
That's all that matters. That's all that matters. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thank you. This has been amazing. I am excited to join this group when I can. Here from Ellicott City.
You're welcome anytime. Absolutely.
All right. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Have a good
Bye.
night.
See you next time.
All right.
Georgianne, before you leave, Georgianne, do you want to show off your work if you did anything? Where are you, Georgianne? If you're able to show us your screen.
I think she's gone.
Nope, she's still here.
Doesn't
Oh.
have a camera. It's okay. Thank you. I don't mean to put you on the spot.
Oh, she says she doesn't have a camera.
It's a likely story. I've heard that one twice today.
Robert, were you able to do the project? I see you're a new name.
He blipped. I think he left. He had to leave. I was gonna
did
grab
leave?
him and then he was not highlighted anymore, unfortunately.
Oh, okay.
Right when I went to go ask him. Does
All right.
anyone else want to start showing off their work?
Looks like a kindergartner.
No. Oh, that's beautiful. Hold on. I'm gonna
I
spell
like
it. Oh,
it.
that's gorgeous.
That's beautiful. Your colors are really rich too. What are you using?
That's funny. Watercolor, and it's called Pretty Excellent. That's the brand.
Pretty Excellent.
So straight from China. Pretty Excellent, but it's got a lot of color.
Oh, that's a really nice set.
Yeah, and it wasn't super expensive, so I like it.
Nice.
I use the fan one. You know that one that like
The paper, it's on cardstock?
no, this one. I use this one a lot.
I bought that too. Do you like that?
So today I was getting a lot of grittiness from it, and I didn't like that, but typically I really like it. The colors are pretty
The
vibrant.
colors are vibrant on it.
Yeah, they're pretty great. You just got to keep it moist, but I know that I was putting it in a palette today and it was breaking into like little bits. So wasn't super excited about that, but yeah, I mean, it's very nice. I did switch over to Pretty Excellent by the end.
And now you have a pretty excellent piece.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I bought those travel watercolors too. And then the same thing, like some of them are really vibrant and then some of them are not. And it's just weird. Like I like them, but I saw another artist using them and I was like, oh, I gotta try that.
It's great to travel with, like you said, it's real easy. And those little water brush pens are pretty great. So yeah. Do I think they're pro quality? No.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't really matter, does it?
At this stage of the game, if you're peaceful and making,
Yeah,
and the materials aren't making you crazy, then
exactly.
it's a win-win.
Thank you, Georgianne, for coming.
Somebody lives near an airport.
That's me.
Yeah. I live near Reagan National, so you will often hear it above me too.
I'm right near JFK,
Oh,
New
yeah.
York City.
That's
Yeah.
right. I remember that when you did the Virginia thing.
Yep.
That was fun.
Sometimes I just don't know what colors to go with. So many choices.
That conceptual art game that I was seeing if you did behind you, that was really fun. That was led by Blick at NAEA, and what they did was they had a circular graph paper, and then they also had prompts, like question prompts, and then like, you know, color 1/4 your favorite color, and then everybody's comes out a little bit different. It was really cool. You just have to, you can do it with a compass. Like if you have graph paper and a compass, you can make your own circle and just kind of, you know, concentric circles. Or you could just buy circular graph paper. But
You can download it off the internet.
Oh yeah, yes, you can also download it off the internet.
From where?
Blick.
Oh, just Google circular graphic paper.
dickblick.com and then go into their lesson plans.
What was
and
it called?
should be Conceptual Art Game. I think was the name of it.
Conceptual Art Game. Dick Blick. Thank you. I think my favorite workshop with materials at one of these conferences of all time was a Dick Blick one when they were in New York City and I first tried felting, needle felting. And I got a little takeaway baggie with supplies, and that was my first time, and I fell in love with that. That was just so fun. Can you imagine using a needle felting needle in a class? I mean,
oh, that's why I avoided the booth. I was like, I'm never going to be able to use needles. I'm not going to go there.
Somebody told me that you could actually use the ridged paper clips instead of a needle. I've not done it, but
at that point, if you use a paper clip, you could just as well use the needle. The needles are super fragile, which, they break off.
Oh, they break
pretty
easily.
Yeah. So I don't know. I guess you have to know your kids, so you couldn't order it in advance. And you'd have to give them the whole safety breakdown and threaten their lives if they, use it for anything other than.
that's almost an art club kind of project.
Yeah, that's true. And that's also very expensive.
You know who sells that is Lee Darter.
She sells supplies?
Yeah, she works through a company in Arizona, and she just, if you contact her, she'll give you all the information. She's wonderful.
Lovely. And I met her through the whole Virginia group.
Yeah.
Are you part of Cheryl Meals art trading cards?
Oh yeah. In
Really?
fact, that's so funny. I've got to make some. Where's my book bag? I gotta send some out tomorrow.
It'd be funny if I had one of yours and I don't even know it.
So did you do the green ones?
I did. I needle felted the green ones, actually.
Oh, you did? Yeah, I did not get a needle felted one.
One of yours, Stephanie.
You did?
Yeah, I did.
Oh my gosh, which one?
I can't remember now. Can't remember which one it was, and they're too far away from me to get it. But I was actually kind of excited when I saw it.
Oh, cool.
I know her.
Where are mine?
I had so much fun with the April one for
I'm doing it now.
umbrellas.
Yeah, I'm doing that now.
Oh, I sent that like 3 weeks ago. I finished it early.
Oops.
Yeah.
I even kept one for myself because I fell in love with the one I did.
I'm not going to be able to get in on that one.
Aw.
Too many things going on.
I'm already working on maize flowers. That's also a great discovery because that gives me a definite project that like I have to schedule into my life and like schedule in time for myself and do artwork for myself. So that was really a sweet little find. I love it.
It is fun.
Mm-hmm.
And anybody else who's listening, we're talking about the VAEA forum on Facebook.
Yes.
VAEA?
Yes.
V as in Victor. It's the Virginia Art Educators Association Forum on Facebook. And Cheryl Meal, you know what? I'll put it in the chat.
Yeah. She's the president right now. So
VAEA members forum on Facebook. And Cheryl.
So we do a Friday night draw from 7 to 8.
You know, sometimes I really want to sign up for them, but by Friday nights I'm so wrecked.
You don't have to sign up.
Oh, I want to show up is what I mean. And that's how I discovered the neurographic drawing once upon a time. And I just end up sleeping right through it because I pass out on Friday nights.
That's okay.
Cheryl Meal.
We were glad to have you that one time when you presented.
TCs. Oh, I forgot I did that. I presented at the VAA conference.
Right. Oh, that's right. It was at the conference. I was thinking it was a Friday night.
They're already putting out calls for new workshops. I saw.
Yeah.
For VAEA?
VAEA.
Huh.
Virginia Art Education Association.
Yeah. Oh, Sylvia, are you still here or did you leave already?
No, I tried to get her and she was off already by the time I tried to get her.
Oh, okay. So I posted it in the chat. It's VAEA Members Forum on Facebook and Cheryl Meal under if you search Cheryl Meal under VAEA, you'll see her ATC listings. And she put out all the themes for the whole year for each month
She's
already.
very organized. I don't understand how she does it.
I know. That's
It
amazing.
drives me nuts. Yeah. I was like, Cheryl, I had to call her one night because I had this instance, and I'll let you guys know about this. So I had this student, and you know how they're all paying attention and actually following directions.
Of course.
So
Sure. Yeah.
this boy turns in this drawing, which was amazing, but did not follow the directions at all. And so I'm like, I don't know what to do. It's gorgeous. I love it, but it's not the project. So I called her and I was like, Cheryl, what do I do? And she and we worked through we were like, all right, so it's beautiful here. And then he just needs to, it was a value shading drawing. And he's like, he just needs to find the values in the background. And I don't think he ever did, but she and I spent a good hour going over what should I do?
I would have given him extra credit for it,
Yeah.
and then made him go back and do the actual assignment.
Yeah, it's just right now getting them to do anything is a brilliant, magnificent achievement.
That's true too.
So asking him to do another one didn't seem like it was going to happen.
I've had a couple of people try to turn in things that really weren't theirs, that they've swiped off the internet. And they think I can't tell, but I Google images, like images.google.com to try to, find it. And sure enough, I found the neurographic one that this one kiddo turned in.
Wow.
And a drawing of a silver spoon that, a knife, fork, and spoon set that this girl thought she could pass off as her work for a small still life. I said, no, one, it's not overlapping. And two, I don't see your signature. And sure enough, I Googled it and found it right there on the internet.
Yeah.
So
Good
I
idea
told
to
her,
have to show their signature. I didn't think about that. That's
oh yeah, I
idea.
told them from now on, I'm not accepting anything that doesn't have their signature and a date. Right now, we're working through the Zero to Portrait slide presentation that somebody shared last spring. And I've been super grateful. I can't even remember who originally created it, but I'm breaking it up into like 4 or 5 weeks and working on each feature. But it was probably through the online art teachers group, OK12, that did present at the conference. I didn't get a chance to see their presentation, but I've been a part of that group for a long time. I just don't have any marvelous things or wonderful things to contribute, but boy, they sure have helped increase my repertoire a lot. And so have you guys. I really do appreciate it, especially that neurographic one.
I know that was really good.
It was
I don't mean to interrupt, but Julie's, I think, leaving. Julie, are you leaving? Do you want to share before you leave? You're more than welcome to if you're still there, Julie.
Oh, no, thanks. I have been listening. I haven't been
no pressure.
Attentive to.
Well, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, no, thank you. And I don't know if I'm on the mailing list. If I put my email, did you say that you do have a list?
I do. If you want to put your email in the chat, I will definitely add it to the list.
That'd be great. Yeah, I think I'm just seeing on Facebook. Like
me too.
Sure.
That'd be great. Thank you.
Just add your emails to the chat and I will add them on. Thank you.
Okay, great.
I've even gotten students who have the nerve to submit my own sample back to me.
Oh my God, I had that happen too recently.
Oh, wow.
All I do is sit there like,
really?
Really? Really?
I haven't had that.
There's just no words, I'm like,
I might kill them if they did that.
oh my God. Yeah. There's, they seem to, there's never a moment where they don't, once I can't even speak straight anymore. You feel at some point that you've seen everything and they always find a new way to blow your mind. Yes. It's crazy.
It's 8:25. 5, and I know some people are starting to leave. Does anyone want to share out their work? I would love to see it.
Mine's not done, but I will. I'll turn my camera on because you won't have to see my pink eye.
Oh, sorry.
Let's see.
Ooh, that's gorgeous.
Ooh, that's neat.
That does look cool.
Let's pin you. Wait, let me see. So, oh, I love that.
Thank you. As long as I can hide behind the screen.
We can't even see it. Don't worry about your eye.
Yeah, we can't see it at all. It
Not
just
at
looks like
all.
you're squinting. I love the colors.
Yeah, I love it. That's fantastic. Really nice.
This was really fun, Kristin.
Thank you. I know it's very relaxing. And I figured I'm like, the kids did it, they loved it, and they needed somebody. And I've been wanting to volunteer something because I have so many little projects just in my back pocket I would love to share.
Well, I'll be happy to have you volunteer or be voluntold at any time.
I've never
Yeah,
heard
just
that
let me
before.
know. If you need somebody, just let me know. I always have something.
Thank you.
Nice
I'm
job.
not finished with mine either. I guess I could show.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Nice.
And that's
Is
just
that regular?
That's the straight pencils with no color, no water yet. Those are the Inktense pencils.
Wait, can you do that again? Because now I have you pinned properly.
There you go.
Yeah, those Inktense look good.
Yeah.
You guys, the ladies, you both have really nice colors in yours. Wow.
Thank you. I like really popping, contrasting colors, as you could see from the other sample I showed.
I like also how you use the ruler for the straight line.
Well, you know, those you said use a straight line if you like music and concerts, and right away I thought, you know, music bar.
Yeah, I love that.
So that's kind of what I was going for. Yeah.
Anyone else brave enough? No judgment.
Mine's not done.
Nice.
Old watercolor pencils that I've never tried before, and now I'm learning about that medium that you really don't want to wait like Steph until later to add the water. So
I love it. It's so organized.
well, that's the problem. It's just like too rigid, so it's not all, you know. That
Oh, it's okay to be rigid. It's beautiful.
I like it. Victoria just posted an Eventbrite link in the chat.
That's the duct tape one.
Oh, thank you.
What is that? What's an Eventbrite?
Next week, they're just doing like a crafty hour or something with duct tape. I just thought it'd be fun if anybody wanted to.
Oh, you know what? I have a conflict. Next week, I got a notification. For those of you in New York, you know MFTA, Materials for the Arts?
Yep.
They are having a screen printing workshop next week at 7 o'clock in direct conflict with my workshop, which really sucks. But they're doing it live on YouTube, so I'm assuming it'll be recorded, so I'll be able to see it afterwards. So it's just screen printing on old clothes, and I have been wanting to do screen printing in school for years and am terrified. I don't know why. So I really want to see that and figure out how I can do it in my classroom.
Hopefully they'll record it. That sounds amazing. I have like a huge bag of old fabric just sitting there. But I'm like, I know I need to do something. What can I do with it?
Yeah. Well, they said it's a live streaming, so they must be recording it right through YouTube. I don't know how they're doing it, but I registered anyway, so hopefully that'll give me access to the recording.
I would say I'd lead you guys through the conceptual art game because that was a lot of fun, but I don't know because it's a Blick thing if we're allowed to do that, if that would be like a weird conflict.
I doubt it. I mean, everything they show us is meant to be used for school, so
it's posted on their website.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's for public use, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's if it's posted on YouTube.
I was trying to find my example, but I can't find it. I did one.
I had to listen to that one. I wasn't in a place where I could actually do it, but it sounded like it was fun.
We'll have to look it up.
I still got all of the things in the goodie bag that came with the stuff
This
beforehand.
was mine.
Hey, that's neat.
So I don't think I finished it, but I made
Good.
That's really cool.
The grid myself. Yeah, it's
I
really
did too.
fun.
I didn't have circular paper, so I just used graph paper and a protractor or a compass.
Yeah, I don't know. I just made, I can't, let's see if you can see it. The line.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
Yeah.
Well, I noticed there was some that posted on the conference site. Some even just drew their own circles and didn't have the graph paper.
Yeah, that's what that was that I just showed you.
I bought the graph paper, of course, after that. I was like, I'm gonna just buy it because it was cool. I liked it. And then some of the prompts I didn't like. I thought they were too much like, I don't know. So I saved their prompts, but then I took out a bunch of them because I was like, some of these aren't good.
Yeah.
Because I liked more of the color, like yours is more flat color.
Yeah.
And then they were like, put, animal stripes and put footprints in
The
it.
zebra stripes, yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, I kind of like just the kind of flat boxes of color.
Yep. Beauty is you can do whatever you want. But you can seriously download circular graphic paper from the internet. Just type it in.
Oh yeah.
I didn't even know there was such a thing.
Free download graph paper. Free download with circular.
Can you share that example again? I didn't see it.
Hold on. It's on I'm showing it to you from my phone.
I have mine somewhere. I just can't find it also.
Luckily, I take pictures of everything. Everything.
It would be really cool if at some point we all go to a conference once they're live again and we all can get together and have lunch.
It is so much fun.
That would be cool.
See each other.
Oh, wow. And it's circular graph paper?
It's not done.
Wow.
Yeah, I just made it. I just took a piece of, square paper. I don't know my left from my right. I just took a square piece of paper, started with an X, and then, just drew like dots down the side of the square, and then I just made it.
So did they give you specific prompts to get started?
Yeah, they're like, do one bold, ring. I don't know why I can't get this in front of the camera. I'm sorry.
Really nice.
Yeah, and that it tells you everything. Yeah, and it's on Blick's website. I mean, you can just go to their website and find it. It's easy.
Oh, okay.
Some of the prompts, I'm showing some of the prompts that they had.
Yeah.
Like make a section with big and little dots of your favorite color. Fill a section with organic shapes. Fill a space with lots of lines overlapping. Make a section with different types of lines. Fill a section with your color of your favorite ice cream, candy, sweet, or treat. Stuff like that. But yeah, it was a lot. But there's a lot of weird stuff. I mean, I liked it. It was cute, but it was some of the stuff I had a hard time picturing, like animal skin and stuff like that. I was like, I need something like just put your favorite color here and in 4 boxes.
Well, I mean, you could totally make up your own prompts.
Yeah, that's the cool thing is that whatever you end up seeing in all of these conferences is that you take what resonates with you and then you customize it for your own kids and for yourself, what makes sense for you.
You are more than welcome. Do you want to show off? Michelle, do you want to show off your work before you leave us? No pressure.
It's okay. You're just an art teacher.
Oh, you're so funny. I just did it doodling. I just had a pen and wait. I was trying to do dishes. I just had pen and pencil because that's half the time I was just like almost doodle.
Oh, I love that. That looks cool.
Yeah, I love that.
My students will say, I don't have anything but a pencil.
Oh, it does look cool.
So, you know, it's fun to hear you guys. I'm not on all the time, but just sitting here and working together, I enjoy that.
But with, I mean, and with that one, you could work on like cross hatching maybe, or your different values, even though it's
Yes.
pencil.
Right. There is, I kind of messed up, but there is like, we had just talked about like grade eight, you know, have a gradient.
Yeah.
Light to dark, and then, you know, going through the different pencil techniques, right? Cross hatch, like you were saying, cross hatching and hatching, and whatever else I could throw in there.
Yeah, that's a great idea with limited supplies and doing that. I didn't even think about that.
I want to show you guys. I found this on the internet. It shows how even, normally it's in color, but I printed it out. It shows the level of effort that you put in so you get the grade.
That's awesome.
I like that.
So it's
Oh
in
my
color,
God.
and then on the bottom it shows when you only have black and white pencil, you can still get, a wow, depending on the amount of effort that you put in. So this was wonderful to find, to show the kids, look, if you just draw something that takes you not even 3 seconds, you're going to get a 3-second grade. If you take some time and put in some effort, no matter what materials you have, that's the grade that you're going to get.
Where did you, first of all, what grade are you teaching? And then where did you have that? Did you make that?
I found the inside part online. I don't even know where I found it, but I can send it out if you got with my
That would be great.
to the mailing list. I'm high school, and the kids are coming in with like very little to no awareness of expectations, and even though I do samples and post examples, they still literally try to get away with this. And I'm like, no, that's not going to fly. Sorry, you're going to have to do a little more than that. So I can send that to you guys.
That'd be awesome. Thanks.
Thank you. That would be wonderful. I teach high school and I get the same kind of thing. And I think it's me, it's like, oh, why can't I teach them?
It's
But
not
no.
you. And you know what it is? Not only, I mean, yes, things are difficult, and everybody's morale and motivation is totally in the toilet, but you still have to have a level of expectation. And if you show the kids that this is what your level of expectation is, then there's no arguing it. They can't say, well, I didn't know. Well, it's in the assignment folder with everything that I post. So that's on you. That's on you,
I mean, it's really good to hear this, because I have the same high school, very limited in, in effort. So I have the ones that love it, right? Like you guys saying, we have a lot of artwork for them or from them. And then I have ones that are scribble scrabble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not even middle school quality in my book. So it's really sad.
It's frustrating.
Yeah.
And then they give up before they even give anything a chance. I think that's what's really happened to me, is that they see art on their program and they're like, how the hell are we going to do art digitally? Forget this, I'm out. And they don't even check in to see what I'm offering. And I've made it so possible for them to succeed if they only showed up and try. But they're not even going to know that because they're not even checking in. So it's frustrating. I'm so ready for this year to be over.
Me too.
Me too.
Yeah. Yes, definitely.
They asked me if I wanted to teach camp this summer, and I was like, no, thank you. Why would I do that?
I had gotten an email from the Metropolitan Museum about a collaborative teaching group, where it was an 8-day series of workshops over the summer, and then all these classes you're going to have to do during the year, and collaborating with other teachers to create units that might be used in their MET program. I thought this would be fantastic. It would look great on my resume, but you know what?
My head's about to explode.
Yes, after this school year, I cannot take on any more, like, if I don't use this summer to completely disengage,
I think so. Oh, sorry.
I can't, I want to do it, but I don't have the mental or spiritual energy
No.
to do that or commit to it. And I'd have to commit to for the whole school year of 21, 22.
No, gracias. Can't do any more than what I'm doing right now.
Yeah. Not this year, maybe the year after, but not this summer coming. I gotta completely
You have to
check out.
survive. You've got to survive.
Yeah.
And adding more to our plate is not going to help us survive.
No.
I just found out that I have to have 80 points of credit, college credit, to relicense. Out of the 160 PD points, 80 has to be college credit, which would be 24 credit hours. I already have one from a while ago. And so I have got to take 3 credit hours somewhere between now and next March.
Art of education.
Yeah, but they're pretty expensive. But anyway, I mean, I love them. I really do use them a lot. I attend their conferences all the time, but their graduate level courses are
Very expensive.
So, I mean, I just discovered this a couple of days ago, like, oh, I know my license is going to come up for renewal in about a year or so. And oops, it's a year exactly. And I still need to find some. So I'm looking into the Art Institute here in Kansas City and see what I can do there. It's, a possibility. My husband's going to be upset, but just for the time, it's just a 1-week thing. But I'm hoping that you don't have to submit any portfolio or anything to get in for that educator's art lab. So possibility of getting a couple of credit hours that way.
I love taking classes. I love being a student. Just the idea of adding any more to anything I'm doing right now, I think it might send me over the edge, make me lose my mind.
Well, I'm going to have to go. Thank you so much, ladies. It's really always nice to be with you. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Laura. Thank you for coming and joining us always.
I'll try to be with you next week. Thank you.
Great.
Bye.
Have a good week.
Thank you for coming.
Bye.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye, guys. I have to run too.
Oh,
I'm checking out as well.
It's about time for me.
About that time, I guess. I forget. It's like 20. Yeah, 20 to 9. All right, so we can call it a night. Anybody want to show off your beautiful creations before we?
If you can see it.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh, love it, love it.
Beautiful.
And that's a combination of the Derwent and Faber-Castell pencils.
It's really
I
nice.
like that.
And
I have a problem of
gel pens.
simplicity. You kept it very simple and clean, and you actually see the background. That's nice. Tracy, that looks amazing.
Tracy,
Oh, I
nice.
like that,
I was
Tracy.
experimenting with some watercolor crayons. I think I want to order
Gorgeous.
some of those.
I love it.
But it's not so messy, and I'm on a cart because I'm in the building
Oh, wow.
days a week. So
Love it. Love it.
thank you.
Thank you both for sharing.
Thank you so much. I enjoyed it. Have a good one.
And if
Steph,
you
thank
Good
you.
night.
Bye-bye.
notice in the chat, I put in a link to some printable circular graph paper.
Thank you so much. I saw that. I got that. Thank you so
Awesome.
much.
Thank you.
Thanks again, everyone.
You
Thank
guys
you,
are such a
guys.
wonderful wealth of resources. Thank you.
Yeah, this is a great group. Thank you so much.
Thank you for asking for volunteers. I enjoyed this. Thank you so much.
I will ask again.
Yeah, please do. I always have something in the wings, doing something.
Fantastic. You guys are wonderful. Thank you so much and have a wonderful week. And I hope I see you next week at
Yeah, I registered for the material for the arts too. So I'm like,
yeah, which one? I
know.
can't choose. I have to be here, but
Yeah.
you'll have to let us know how it is.
yeah. Well, I wanted to come to the portfolio one. That's like a big one for me.
Yeah, that's next week. The
Art show or
art show one. Yep,
Yeah.
the digital art show.
I'll see you next week, definitely.
Perfect.
Yeah, I'll probably come to this one and I'll watch material for the arts. I didn't know it was on YouTube, but now that you're saying that, maybe I'll just watch it. So
Yep, that's what I figured too. I'll catch it later.
all right. Thank you so
All right,
much.
thank you.
Bye.
Good night.
Have a great week, everybody.
You.
Good night.
Good night.